Speaking of Ahsoka, there was a fucking great trailer. It was like 2 days ago. Dropped on the Star Wars YouTube and
then it was everywhere else on the internet.
Right. So we're gonna talk about it a little bit while you're here. Make sure you like the video and all that other bullshit. Comment with your thoughts and like if we missed something or if there's like a little detail, because I'm not gonna lie to you. Like all of it, like everyone who's making content on YouTube about this are all drawing from the same source anyway. Like we all saw the fucking thing and we all know that there's a Darth Vader breathing sound in the video and shit. Like I'm not gonna give you anything new that you don't already know. But like if we missed something, let us know. Or more importantly, what your thoughts are and everything.
Tell us the part of it that you liked the most.
Yeah. And then when this show comes out, it was the 28th of August. We'll be recapping every episode the day of. So make sure you tune in for that. So this thing opens. I took notes because this was like
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, because like they did a trailer. The previous trailer had some cool shots, and like we knew that Thrawn was like a part of it and shit. And but everything we could tell from the story was just from, they're looking for Thrawn and everyone's mad at each other, because that's pretty much what every fantasy story is, conflict and trying to find something. So they put a lot more shit in it this time, and so I'm gonna kind of go through this bit by bit. And this opens with this like Kylo Ren looking shuttle, right? Like this, like based off the Lambda class design and shit. And they're approaching presumably a New Republic Mon Calamari ship from their fleet, or it's like they're truckers, space truckers, or I don't fucking know. So I'm pretty sure this comes from probably the opening sequence of the show in the first episode. It's important to point out that the way that they do these trailers, almost all the footage comes from the first 3 episodes.
I'm sure they don't want to give away the big reveals.
Right. So, and I'm pretty sure they're going to open the show with this or something else that I'll mention here in a bit. But Skull, Baylan Skull and Shin Hati, who are both the bad boys of the Orange Sabers, storm this ship, right? And Skull says, war is inevitable when one must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi, and just fucking shish kebab the guy with a lightsaber. And the guy's like, I didn't think you were a Jedi, but okay. So I love this for an opener for the show. It's like a cold open, like fucking tall, fuck you looking guy stabbing people with lightsabers. Good way to get me invested in your show. There are a lot of shots that we've seen already, like Ahsoka bathed in light. She's like she's like doing an Indiana Jones thing somewhere. She's like, checking out some old location.
Using the Force to swap the MacGuffin with the bag of sand.
Right. And it looks like there's a new shot of something that might look like it's from like an old ancient Jedi temple. And then you see the back of Thrawn's head, which is also not something new. And she says, I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire, which is when she said that the first time, all of us collectively jizzed and like, oh, she said the thing. Baylan and Shin land at Space Stonehenge, and I have no idea what the fuck it is. It's a map thing, I think. Because it's actually kind of interesting how much of this seems to be The Last Jedi, but just a little bit, like they're trying to
the fucking wayfinder to find where fucking
Thrawn is. I have some thoughts about that.
Where the space whales went.
They're also apparently there with Morgan Elsbeth, who is the from Mando season 2, the Ahsoka,
the spear,
right? Yeah, she's like hanging out with them and shit. And so the bad guys are trying to find Thrawn too, and I can't really I'm not really sure why. They're going to use Space Stonehenge to find him. And then Shin asks what happens when we find Thrawn, and Baylan answers power, such as you've never dreamed, which is interesting to me because
they have the Force.
Yeah, and Thrawn's like just a...
He's just he's a really fucking good admiral, but
he's real smart, but he's not like...
He's just a regular guy.
So I'm not really sure. Maybe
he's kind of blue, but he's just a regular guy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they think he has that they want, or I don't know. So how much of this is, I was having this thought about how much of this stuff happens before Mando season 2. Like, is this before, and then Mando season 2 happens, that episode with Ahsoka happens, and then like the rest of the show? Because Elsbeth doesn't seem to know where Thrawn is in this. So like maybe this is like before the show, before Mando season 2. and then she finds out, and then Ahsoka finds her on that planet, was like, where the fuck is Thrawn? Or maybe Elsbeth just knows where to look to find him, and she gave that information to Ahsoka, and they're both trying to get there before the other one does, right? Which is just as likely. There's a shot of the New Republic fleet, which I think is new, which is still standing. It doesn't look like Mon Mothma's like demilitarized the New Republic yet. There's a shot of Hera chasing, like they're on a thing. This could be the other cold open that I was thinking of, her like trying to like chasing a thing with a ship. It doesn't quite look like she's in the Ghost cockpit. I thought, because it doesn't look the same as Rebels, and it might be the Phantom 2, which is like they're like the ghosts like can shit out a little shuttle, and it's one of those two probably. She's in there with Chopper and shit. They're having a blast. Hera said, "I've spent most of my life fighting a war. That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one." And it's like she's talking to Mon Mothma and other, you know, New Republic guys, and like. Maybe Mon Mothma started the demilitarization thing and doesn't want to get into like another fight or something, where Hera's like this shit's happening, we need to go kill it before it starts. And she's like, "Oh, about that, we're shutting our military down."
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me what Hera has seen. And is she there on the behalf of Ahsoka? Like, has Ahsoka seen something and was like, "Listen, we need to get the New Republic involved." So there's a shot with Hera and Ahsoka, and Hera says, "You and I both know who could help you with this." And then Ahsoka answers, "She's still just as stubborn as ever." And they're like a great cut to Sabine, like doing Sabine things. She's driving very fast on that long road to Lothal from Rebels and shit. And Hera's...
It just now hit me. This is going to be another instance of girls get it done.
Oh, yeah, probably. So Hera is like, "I bet your master found you really difficult at times." And there are lots of Anakin references to this, or at least 3. And Ahsoka says, "Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him just like I walked away from Sabine." And I started to think, what the fuck are you talking about? You walked away from Sabine, and why are you comparing your relationship to her like your relationship with Anakin? The next shot is Sabine and Ahsoka, and Sabine says, "You never made things easy for me, master," like this icy fucking, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, because like we knew Sabine was training with a darksaber because she's Mandalorian, and that was going to be her thing, right? And then she has Ezra's lightsaber. But in the show, in Rebels, she was never force sensitive. She just had a fucking lights or like a darksaber and shit. And so now everyone's like, wait, so she force sensitive, or was Ahsoka just training her how to fight with a lightsaber, or what the fuck? So there's a hollow recording of Ezra that Sabine is watching, and he says, "As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can, but I'm counting on you to see this through." And this is not the message he leaves for them at the end of Rebels. And honestly, this sounds like an Ezra that's a little bit more wise. And I'm wondering if they've already found him. And he's like, either maybe he's off with Luke, or he's like, I'm kind of done with everything, so I'm just going to go buy a house on somewhere you can't find
retired.
Me. Or he's dead. Or third option, I'll mention at the end of the thing here. So Sabine cuts off her hair. And it's like a pretty clear nod to Kanan Jarrus doing the same thing in Rebels. Yeah, right. There is a shot of that painted mural from Star Wars Rebels, and it kind of like pushes in on Ezra. And Ahsoka says, "Sometimes we have to do what's right regardless of our personal feelings," which I'm pretty sure she's talking about the fact that Sabine and Ezra want to fuck real hard. There's a shot of a space Purgle, the hyperspace whales and shit. Sabine's flying a ship that looks like the same class as Bo-Katan's Gauntlet. Which would make sense because she's a Mandalorian. Yeah. And they have like the monopoly on that. Like that one class of ship is theirs. Yeah. Hero shot of fucking Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn from the front. Now, like this was leaked right after Star Wars Celebration, where someone like took a picture of it and it looked like shit, right? But we got to see it. Seeing it actually like an official, like high quality thing, it's like that man looks real fucking good as Thrawn. I'm here for it, and that dude is going to be so good.
Looks very blue.
Oh yeah. A lot of people are making the Thrawn Elon Musk. It just makes me really like it. It's like one of these guys is a brilliant tactician, and one of them's Elon Musk. So Ahsoka says, if we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain. And I'm wondering what they've lost up to this point. Like if something has happened, there's a shot of Sabine with an outstretched hand, like this.
Mm-hmm.
And she's having a fight with Shin with lightsabers. Like they're like clashing lightsabers. And she says, you have no power. Like, is Sabine using the Force, or is she trying to use the Force? Like, she's about to lose this fight, and she's like, well, I guess I got nothing. Like, I'll just fucking try the Force, right?
Unfortunately, that's not how the Force works.
Yeah. So Baylan and Ahsoka face off at Space Stonehenge. Mm-hmm. And Baylan says, Anakin spoke highly of you. And just a brief moment of Vader's breathing. You can hear it. It's like a blink and you miss it kind of thing. And Ahsoka says, I'm not here to discuss my past. I'm here to cut your dick off. She didn't say that on the trailer, but
she implied it.
Right. There's a shot of her running away from an exploding city, and then she's picked up by a ship. And then there's a shot of Hu Yang, who's the Jedi Temple lightsaber construction droid for the little babies. Mm-hmm. Says we have a lot of work to do. And it's like, what would Ahsoka, Hera, and Sabine need with an ancient Jedi lightsaber teacher? Like a this is how you build your lightsaber thing. And then Hera gets the last line: once a rebel, always a rebel. And some more action shots. But the thing that really caught my attention was that Ahsoka at the end, she's fighting some of Elsbeth's like combat droids, and then facing down an Inquisitor at the end. He's got his like helicopter fucking lightsaber, and he's got. First of all, she does this stance that Anakin does in episode 2, which I was like, it's taken from like samurai swordplay, right? Yeah. Where if you watch episode 2, when he's fighting Dooku, he holds his hands a certain way, and like that's his stance, right? Mm-hmm. It's to invite an attack, and she does the same stance, which I was like, she's doing an Anakin thing. But in the closed captions, this Inquisitor has a name. Which is Marok.
Okay.
And I'm like, one of two things. Like, he's like Vader's not around anymore. So what would the Inquisitors be doing anyway, right? Other than maybe off on their own. Maybe it's the guy from the new book coming out. Maybe it's some rando that like dies at the end of the first episode.
It's pretty remarkable that any Inquisitor could have lasted this long without Vader killing them.
Yeah. Yeah, because he just gets tired of them, right? Yeah. Or it could be Ezra.
Oh,
which I thought would be kind of an interesting thing, and the whole thing could be about
that would be a dark twist,
trying to bring Ezra back. Yeah, so that's I think out of those probably the least likely, but it would be kind of an interesting thing. Disney generally doesn't like to do their their
super dark bad ends,
right? So who knows?